Half hour. My name's Rich. You can find me on X at FuzzDoomRip and all the other socials at rich.piva. I have Turbo with me as well. Turbo, what's going on? Perfect. Exactly what I was expecting. So I'm very excited. I have this show has turned into, I don't know, like 35% Canadian bands, which I am very happy to have on the show. And we have another one, Star Beast. How are you guys doing? We have all four members of Star Beast with us, and I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. But how's everybody doing tonight?
Excellent.
Amazing.
Excellent, excellent. If we can go around
Fantastic.
and just introduce yourselves and what you guys do in the band, and then we can start getting into it a little bit, if you don't mind. I'm looking at Ruben first on the left. So, Ruben, if you could start, that'd be cool.
I'm the singer, guitar player. Yeah, and I guess I'm the sound engineer.
Oh, okay.
Primary songwriter too. Say it, man. Just say it.
That's true. I bring in the songs.
And the tallest one.
It's pretty good. And then the band fleshes them out, and it seems to work.
All right, cool. I'm looking at you now, Ken. Ken, tell us about you.
Drummer, Ruben's emotional support. Other than that, you know, same idea, just the smaller version, really.
Tony?
Oh, frozen.
I'm guitars and I'm guitars and Logan's Scream Machine.
Like comic relief.
Excellent. And I believe Andrew was called Chowder, if I'm not mistaken, when he came on. So Chowder.
Yep.
What are you up to?
I'm Chowder. We got that already. I'm the bass player, and probably, I don't know, me and Ruben have been working together the longest, I guess, if you tag all the months together over all the years. So.
Very cool. So the reason what triggered, first of all, I've been talking with Ryan at Black Throne, who we've had a lot of Black Throne bands on, all very, very cool bands, very cool people. But even before that, when your first album, we can call it an album because it's 28 minutes, so it's just an album if you when you start to debate EP versus album. But your self-titled first album, it took me by surprise and was something that stuck with me it still does. I was listening to it in the car today when I was driving, and I love that record. So when I saw that you guys had a new song dropping and video, I said, it's time. Let's talk to these guys and see what's up with them. So, but the first thing I want to ask, it sounds like originally the band was kind of brought together as a COVID project, and I think it said Ruben's son said, do something and continue or something like that. So I wanted to just get a story of how Star Beast came to be. And now, is this a full-time or an active band going forward?
Yeah, it is, because I think when you stumble onto something that works, you just got to go with it. And that's why this sort of started. Ken and I were both doing COVID projects because you're bored as hell. What are you going to do? And then my son, the story is, came up to me and he was learning how to play guitar, and he said, "Dad, write songs like this: Electric Funeral." No, sorry, for Electric Funeral, but Electric Wizard, Wind Hand, bands like that, all this kind of Sabbath worship stuff. And there's rules. You have to tune your guitars a certain way. You have to, keep it simple and make chunky giant riffs. And I was a real Beatles head, right? So I was like, okay. So
Sure.
I just started cranking out these little songs, and then the reaction from family and friends, and you can tell when your family and friends are being polite, right? When they react to your music, like they'll go something like, "Oh yeah, that's nice," and "Oh, but look at this hat view," and I'm like, "Oh yeah." Didn't get that this time, so I was like, "Huh?" That's when I phoned up Ken and said, "Hey, Ken, let's put that together." And Ken was like, "You're an idiot." That's true.
Well, I was just completely surprised. I was completely surprised.
Did you actually call him an idiot though? Because that's a good story.
Oh yeah,
She got shirts made that say "idiot."
no, with an arrow.
I'm with you.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was just a question of like, if I think the medium is the message half the time, and whatever palette, if you're a painter, if you choose watercolors or oils or whatever, that's going to kind of really influence the final project that you end up with. And that's what happened with us. Somebody was like, here's the rules, tune your guitars this way. And we've already broken it. But it was a starting place. Right? And so it came from that. The reaction meant, let's make this into a band and not just a COVID project. Tony was some weird guy I knew at work. I worked at Steam Whistle for many years. I thought he was weird. Didn't want to hire him. Ken convinced me. We fired him about 5 times. But now I love him.
I'm still weird.
Yeah. And Chowder, had known him for music, and so that's how the band kind of formed. And the nice thing about it is because we're all a bunch of dads, we don't have egos. We just, we just let them.
Wait a minute. Is Tony, do you have something you want to tell us? Are you pregnant, Tony?
Not today, man. Not today.
Tony's a dad to a Logan string machine.
That's 3 out of 4 of you.
Yeah.
And I guess also not just the response from family, but I assume the response from when the record came out as well. And I say record with a little bit of bitterness as a vinyl collector that I don't have wax for this particular release.
I feel the same.
Okay, good, because we'll get to that after. But I assume like just some of the response from the public listening to it probably. I mean, if this came out and nobody cared, I'm sure you guys would maybe still do it, but not be as kind of into it and as kind of gung ho as you are with the videos that you're making and everything else. But what was the reaction that you got from people listening to it?
We tend to have very zany fans. Like we're small potatoes right now. We haven't been discovered. No one's kind of like shone a light on us and say, "Hey, this is good." But just the people who took the time are kind of nuts.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You're on to something. It's gonna go, okay. That's what perpetuated it from the beginning. That's what keeps us going now. Yeah, this idea that again, people aren't just being polite, but oh yeah, look at this cat video.
And we're not forcing the issue. We play the music and we just let you like it or not. And it comes across, it translates, and people really fall into it. The other thing too is it may have started as a Doom project, but Ruben doesn't know how to not write a melodic tune. And so yeah, so instead of, he did end up truncating a lot of parts, and that's why you only have 2.5 minutes per song, 3 minutes a song. And so you get the best of all the worlds. You get the heaviness of the Doom, you get the pop sensibilities, and then it's over so quick that you have to listen to it again.
It's really funny that you say that, because I'm driving today and I'm thinking of all the bands that this sounds like, and Sabbath is not one of them that comes up. Obviously, you guys have the riffs and the tuned down guitars and whatnot, but I'm driving and I'm hearing in Rainbow Colored Life, I'm hearing your Beatles influence. I'm hearing some serious Radiohead and 90s alternative. I was trying to think of some of the other bands that it was reminding me of, but I was stuck on the Radiohead side. And then I don't know if you know this band, but you guys are from Canada and of a certain age. Do you know the band the Doughboys from Canada?
Yeah, much for all.
You guys remind me of the Doughboys a little bit too. The album Crush.
Might have to fight you over that.
But see. But you have to go with the album Crush. Then Crush is excellent. It's melodic. It's got a little heaviness to it. But we'll come back to Canada, because Turbo loves when I ask the Canadian bands the Canada question. But before I get into that, I dominate the first 10 minutes of every interview. So now I will let Turbo actually ask a question. Turbo, what do you got for the guys?
This latest single, I wish it was a little bit longer. 2 minutes. Sounds like it cuts off too quick.
We need more. Yes.
But the video, did you all come up with the idea for the video, or did somebody else do that?
Well, one of the things that influenced us for videos is how Windhand used to take old movies and chop them up into a video. But I noticed that they didn't really have any kind of narrative visually. They were just like imagery in the background. It was almost like a lyric video they would use for the music. So you see old black and white footage of a scary guy, and then that would cut to something kind of psychedelic. But there wasn't really a storyline. What I started to do was look for high definition versions of old crazy movies that weren't going to kill me from copyright on YouTube, and try to cut them up in ways that were interesting. And so you see that all in the first album. Like Wanderer is 1963's The Terror. Jack Nicholson, right? And but you kind of follow a little storyline with it, and it's kind of tough because a lot of times these movies are just all dialogue, and you can't use any of the dialogue.
Right.
But you're just using action scenes. You try to create a narrative. It follows this guy, Jack Nicholson, chasing this mysterious woman, and that's what this latest video was too. This was a crazy movie from 1965, written called "The Earth Dies Screaming." Which,
Yeah.
It worked out.
But yeah, to answer your question, Turbo, it is Ruben that does that. It's another one of his many talents. And he does the research, searches out the film, and then cuts them up. And it's something that's nothing short of amazing, because I've tried editing stuff. I find I don't have the patience for it. So it's really cool how it so falls in place, but how it also really speaks to everything about the band, and like Bruce saying about the narrative. It works well. But it's him.
And it's even more impressive that, Windhand songs, I don't think Windhand has a 2-minute song, but you're taking a movie and cutting it up into like a 2-minute 30-second song too, and creating a narrative within that time, which is also even more impressive that you're able to hit those kind of notes just in that small amount of time. So very, very cool. And I watched a couple of the other ones too, and I feel like you're building to I don't think it's a full story, but there's that theme going on that from video to video that I think is very, very cool. Now, when I talk about your influences, you mentioned some of the ones that kind of triggered this. And without knowing you guys, when I first listened to the record when it came out last year, I heard things like Bowie and T-Rex in the first song, like "We Love You," and I hear like I said, like 90s alt stuff, and I fool myself into thinking I'm like this 90s alternative expert, because especially Canadian rock, because I went to school in Buffalo and listened to 102.1 for 4 years. But that's another question I'm going to ask you guys later. But outside of what you mentioned there, what are some of the other bands that kind of influence the four of you guys, and how you play and what you bring to the table in Starbeast?
Chowder, take it.
For me, I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so I was a hair metal guy, and came to the 90s late because I sort of woke up one day and went, oh, all this shit's happening around me. I better cut my hair. And it was sort of there was nothing. As I became more aware as a bass player, I tuned in more to funk and stuff like that. But now it's more like, I like to say it's a lot of 70s stuff. I love the 70s rock. I love the fact there actually are bass lines as opposed to just copying guitar lines. And but modern guys, like Tim Comerford from Rage Against the Machine. I love a big fat pocket, and Ken makes that really super easy. Be able to sit down, lay back, and just like throw down a big pocket, and that pushes a band forward. But yeah, like guys like him, like Justin Chancellor from Tool, I love his tone. But you can't like stop with like Geezer Butler and James Jamerson and guys like that, and Paul McCartney just laying down melodic flowing lines, which I love doing too. And these guys, as a bass player, I feel blessed because they're like, oh yeah, play more notes, and I play more notes, and they're like, more notes, and they're like, play more notes, and it's sometimes I'm like, that's too many fucking notes, man. But it's allowed me to have a voice, and I think it adds to the chemistry of the band, and it's one of the things that makes us work so well together.
I love it. You opened up the hair metal door, and you have two fans of hair metal. We understand. Give us a couple of your favorites from back in the day.
Oh, well, I still am a hardcore Judas Priest guy. I love Priest. Um, and I think they're one of the bands that is still stood the test of time and still doing the good work. But back in the day, I was full on Beavis and Butthead geek. I liked I like early Crew. I like Winger. I like Dawkins. I mean, I was right into the hair metal thing, and Bullet Boys, all that kind of stuff, Shredder stuff, and but yeah, used to hide from it. Don't care anymore.
Yeah, there was a little there was a pocket of time when it was like it wasn't cool to admit that you like those, and now
Fuck myself.
some people find themselves trying to backfill their vinyl collection with all their 80s hair metal. I don't know who I'm talking about, but it might be me. But yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. Awesome. Tony, how about you? What would you call out as some of your influences and what you bring to the table?
Oh man. Well, for me, it'd probably have to go way back to being a kid. The old man showing me, just everything under his belt, right from the Beatles and anything classic rock, right? Zeppelin into Aerosmith, and just being that kid air guitaring in his room, wanting to be a band from there, right? Then growing a little older, a little younger than these cats here, so kind of got into the new metal a little bit, which got me into those distorted guitars that I love so much, right? And now as I grow a little older, it goes from everything from, White Buffalo and Coulter Wall and some blues country stuff right back to the Beatles and everything in between. So when I heard Ruben stuff for the first time, it kind of covered all the bases, right? It was heavy, but it was melodic. It was something you could headbang to and kind of dance to at the same time, right? So it had all the elements that I look for in a song in a
Love it.
band.
Love it. It's I think I'm a sucker for heavy and melodic too, and that's probably why I'm so drawn to your record and the stuff that you've been doing. Ken, how about you? What would you say some of your favorite drummers?
So that's a hard one. It's really not a drummer. It's more like all types of groove kind of music. I come from a little bit of a different angle. Metal wasn't my first love. It really was, Chic, Stevie Wonder, that kind of thing. I really got into trying to. So my thing is that if I'm playing and if the band stops and I've got a groove going and everyone's just sitting there, I'm doing something wrong. If I've got a groove going and the heads are doing this, without anybody's help, then I'm doing it right. So it's really about just trying to be in the pocket. Later on in life, I got into Ozzy, Sabbath, Maiden, Judas Priest as well. And then I hit the 90s the later 80s, and it was honestly new wave. I got into all that, and I looked the part. I don't have any pictures, luckily. And then as time kind of went on, Ruben introduced me to a lot of classic rock. I wasn't heavily into classic rock at the time, but when I met Rube, he wanted just that big fat kind of, 2 and 4 kind of just hit and go. And so I still do that, but there is a bit of a swing to what I do because I can't get rid of Stevie and, all those guys. So,
And thanks fucking God.
It's funny you say bands like Chick and things like that because I feel, and you mentioned New Wave, I feel like I might have a kindred Duran spirit fan on this call. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Turbo
wasn't sure if I was allowed to say that. I don't know if Turbo was going to jump on me.
No, he won't. He'll try to edit this out later. But for me, my love of Duran is almost embarrassing. I'm a huge fan, and I feel like John Taylor might be one of the best bass players ever around. Like he's just unbelievable what that guy does. And Chowder seems to agree with me, which is
I did a deep dive on him one time, and just like he was talking about polyrhythms and how he applied different rhythms to the tempo and to the beat, and then moved around his chord choices. That's just like oh, I play way too simple. Like it sort of blew my mind because the songs are so simple and to the point. And then you listen, you really back out. It's the same with the Beach Boys. They used to do that too. You back out what's happening in the bass, and you're like, this isn't easy at all.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about that era of stuff as well. Amazing musicians.
And what's funny, I read this is the last John Taylor comment I'm going to make, Turbo, I promise. I read his book, and he made it out like he was not good at bass, like he was like he just picked it up one day and was fiddling around and did what he did. And meanwhile, you put on like Rio, and he's just goes crazy. Anyway, I love that we're having a Duran conversation.
He's a liar.
Yeah, he is a liar. Like the book is like, yeah, I was 14, I picked up the bass, and I can fiddle around with it a little bit. I'm like, if that's fiddling, then yeah. Turbo, I'm so sorry. Please ask a question now, because I've gone. I think it was 4 minutes in Duran.
That drummer in Canada did say anything about Neil Peart.
Interesting point. Very interesting point. Ruben, I think everything is working, so I think that message is giving you the bad message, so don't worry about it. I think it's just a Riverside thing. Oh, really? He keeps cutting you off?
Yeah, he's been out of half the conversation.
Well, I know. I thought he was trying to redo himself because it says issue. The recording is stopped. I'll edit this part out. Weird.
That's all.
We'll keep going while Ruben tries again. But
Do you
yeah,
all, create together in a room together, or is it all Ruben's magical doing, and then he just tells you what to do?
he's not here, so you can say whatever you want to say.
Well, so what Ruben will do is he'll come with a demo usually, and then he'll send the demo. He'll WhatsApp the demo out to us, and then we each spend time with it, listening to it. And then what usually happens is we get in the room, and then Ken usually does lays down the groove and the pattern, and then we come in and we record. And they do the note thing where you're not playing enough notes, Chow. And then usually by the end of that, Ken says he needs to redo his drums again because everything has changed in the field. So it is very organic in how it works. And we have re-recorded songs 3-4 times. But because Ruben has a studio, we have the luxury of being able to do that. And it allows us a lot of space for experimentation around groove and pocket and note choices. And, oh, do we want to put a guitar here? Or do we want to put the Logan machine here? Or do we want nothing in here? And are we going to add a vocal to this? Or are we going to take a vocal away? And we have that flexibility. But yeah, Ruben is, he writes the songs, but it is very much a group effort as the song builds into its own entity. And that's one of the things I love about it. I love working in the room. I've never wanted to be a sideman. It's not in my DNA. And I love playing in a band. So this, to me, is kind of the perfect scenario.
I love the chemistry that you guys seem to have just talking to you. It's something that started as like a project, like a COVID project, which COVID was obviously terrible, but it actually generated some serious creativity in the music that we listen to. But I just seeing you guys interact and how you guys talk about the process and stuff, it's actually very cool. It seems like there's this chemistry that you've been playing together for a really, really long time. And
but it's not just that, it's there's other bands out there that do the one guy who writes everything. I know, I'm sorry. I might have to move.
Please,
mute the mic.
This is the way our show goes. It's perfect.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to mute the mic. You guys talk.
So
I feel like I should start barking.
Yes. What I was going to ask was,
It's all good.
we'll have Ken continue once that dog stops, who obviously is very passionate about Star Beast as well. The new record. So we hear Everything Is Gone. And I'm not sure who I'm interacting with on Instagram, but that person told me that it's, there's still fuzz, but it's heading a little bit more towards like Radiohead, Porcupine Tree, things like that. What are we going to hear on this new record? Is it going to be fuzzy, heavier, more psych? What are we thinking?
Did we lose Rube again?
We did, but we're gonna get him back when we do the album dropping show, just in case it doesn't work. Oh wait, he's joining. I think it's gonna work this time.
Rube, are you there?
We see
Oh,
almost.
That's what happens when you live in Roncesvalles.
yeah.
To live in the East End like the rest of us.
Old haunted.
Ruben lives on the other side of Toronto from us. We're all on the west side. He's on the east side.
Got it. Okay. So without Ruben for now,
Yeah.
what are we thinking? What direction are you guys going in, or how would you describe some of the other new material?
I have always said that if you take Sabbath and the Beatles and you meet them in grunge, that's sort of where we end up. And I love personally, because I'm a huge Porcupine Tree fan, I love the Porcupine Tree and the Radiohead comparisons, because there is no doubt about our heaviness. Like, we all love to do it. We love a fat groove. We love loud guitars and stuff like that. But there's this element of psychedelic in there that feeds, I think, off of the Radiohead and stuff like that. And it just, to me, that's the dynamic that separates us in some ways from a lot of the other bands that are in our genre, because just throw something in there that you won't expect, with more melody, with just more psych, just more sort of, I don't know, I don't want to say shoegaze, but just there's another level there and I think that the new album pushes that a little bit more, but it's still going to be happily heavy for all the heavy fans, for sure. Excellent.
It's like Radiohead, but before they started to make music that they didn't want people to actually like, right? So like OK Computer and Backwards, I don't know. That would be my opinion. And I actually stop at the Bends, but that's a whole other discussion that we could have. Tony, when you look at your work on so I guess my question is the new record in the can right now and we're doing singles, or is that
Yeah.
where we're at? Okay. Tony, when you look at what you did, your contribution to the record, did you do anything different? Was there anything new that you brought to the table that maybe you didn't on the first record?
Yeah, I think well, like going back to what I was saying earlier about my influences and the kind of the new metal stuff that I dug. I kind of find I can, that style of the way I play and the way I used to play and the way I try to play now with new stuff that I'm into, I try to throw all that in there. So if maybe a part calls for something to be a little heavier, I might throw in an extra slide with some extra distortion or something like that, right? So
He's also an awesome noisemaker.
yeah, and yeah, not to mention that
Squealing.
little string.
Yeah.
So yeah, going back, what the album might sound like now, it's just that it's taking all of our different influences and putting them in our own parts, which is again, like Chowder was saying, why Ken might have to go back and re-record all the drums after our parts of that, right? So.
Well, we might have to have a new metal show and bring Tony back to talk about some of his favorite new metal bands. Tony, sounds like Tony did it all for the Nookie. That's just what it sounds like. That possibly might be the case.
The hat used to be red.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no, of course. I last year.
100 years ago, seriously.
Well, last year I went to Rockville down in Daytona, and Limp Bizkit played, and my buddy is a big fan and made me stand there and watch it, and it was disturbing at how many people were enjoying it. I don't know. In my opinion, it was disturbing at how many people were enjoying it as much as they were. But I digress.
People like to break things, man.
They do. They did. When that song came on, I was like, oh, it's Woodstock 99 all over again in Daytona.
So is there any new like musical instruments being used on this album, or anything normally that you haven't used in the past? Or that's something in the single, and I wasn't sure if it was keyboards or if it was something else.
Oh yeah. It's the string machine for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And I
For me,
I pulled
especially-
out. Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Oh, yeah. Well, for me especially, that string machine is completely new. Uh, before this, it was strictly guitar and bass, and then now all of a sudden they threw a keyboard string machine under me. So now I'm learning how to play that.
Nice.
To
Worked.
look like I know.
Impressed.
Yeah, we didn't really give Tony a choice. He's actually a bass player at heart. And when we first started, I was like, "Hey, let's get this guy. He's a good bass player." And Ruben was like, "Oh, I already have a bass player." I'm like, "Okay, well, Tony, do you still want to be in the band?" "Yeah, I'll play whatever." And that was the worst thing he ever had to say because he just said, "Here you go."
Here's a guitar and here's a
A lot
keyboard.
of crap. A lot of-
Make it work.
yeah.
Excellent. Ruben, can you hear us? I feel so. I feel.
I can
terrible.
hear you.
Okay. Thank you for keeping trying hanging in. I appreciate it. These guys have definitely kept up the side of the conversation. So I feel terrible that the internet in Canada is not working as well as it does here in the wonderful United States. I'm joking. My internet is crappy as hell all the time too. So please. So I guess what kind of timelines are we looking at for the new record? And will we this time have a physical media that's a little bigger than a CD and potentially a black and/or splatter color?
That's the rumors. Yeah, it looks like. Well, we're hoping we will get a vinyl of the second album. Right now, we're doing singles, so the first one hasn't even dropped yet. Well, just the video. And then I think we've got 3 or 4 more videos in the can already. So we're gonna spread them out, take our time, fish the market, let them come to us kind of thing and be like, "Hey, I like your song." Go from there. I think Rube, I think we're looking at 2026 for the album release, or like the full album release, or is it this year?
He's only at 2%. I don't think we're going to get him.
Well,
Man.
it is almost September, so
Yeah, I think it's 2026.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
we'll probably be early 2026, and the idea is to do a bunch more shows and stuff like that, and really sort of try to ramp it up in the new year, especially as well. Maybe do some mini tours. It really depends on finances and all that kind of stuff. The typical story of any band now, but yeah, it's like we want to hone the live thing, really sharpen that up so that when we can come out and kick some ass, and I mean. So one thing that we're lucky for, a lot of times people walk in and they look at us, no, it's a bunch of old guys playing, they got their kids moved out and they got spare time. And then we start to play and people are like, oh no shit, these guys know what they're doing. And, so, that's kind of what we're going to push. We got to get out there, play, and get butts in the seats, I guess you could say. Build our.
Well, we were at a gig once, and I had one of the other band's members come up to me and one of their crowds participants, and they asked me who was the kid that I was there to see.
Is your kid playing today? Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay.
Just like, oh, that would be me, and I'm going on now.
It's a Molson bottle to the back of the head when they're not playing.
No, I'm not a violent man.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Oh, no, oh. Hey, can we lose him? Turbo, can we kick him off? Let's go. Get him out.
You mentioned tour. Tell us what you're doing from a live show standpoint. Are you playing with anybody you're psyched to be playing with, or what's going on with some shows that you guys are doing?
Anybody?
Go ahead.
We got Black Throne.
played,
Black Throne is definitely going to be
played,
putting together some stuff. We'll be doing the Bovine. We're hoping to do a little bit in Montreal, Kingston, kind of thing. But right now, the new album is just, gaining ground. So have we just done one show of the new album, or 2? We played just
What I
last
say.
week. One, yeah. We played last week. We introduced a few new tunes. It was really a kind of a practice under our belt. We weren't really sure yet, and honestly, it went over amazing.
Cool.
Soundman was just he loved it, and
The
Made
sound
us-
man
made
bought
us
us
sound-
drinks.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what the hell is going?
Yeah.
Like that never happens.
Yeah, no, that does not ever happen. That's
What a
very cool.
testament to liking our music, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I should have hesitated in asking you that because I asked another Black Throne band about a tour and they broke some news that they shouldn't have, and it's going to cause me some serious editing. So
There's no tour.
okay,
There's no tour lined up yet. We're just
Yeah.
out there playing shows.
awesome. You guys know who you are. I don't. You're welcome for editing it. Awesome. So I'm very excited. You know, as you can tell, I'm a huge fan of the band. I could, like I said, the like somebody said, you know, it's 28 minutes and they're short songs, and you just 3 times you can just go through that record and it never gets old and it never gets dull for me. So I'm very excited to hear what's next. I was very excited. I'm starting to wear out, if you can wear out digitally, a song. The new single is called Everything Is Gone. You can get it for $1.50 Canadian right now on Bandcamp. I don't know what that translates to in American dollars, but whatever it
Fucking
is,
nickel. You'll get your nickel back.
whatever it is, it's worth it. I can guarantee you that. Go check out the video as well. Very, very cool video. People are doing videos and we see all sorts of videos, and this is just something different and something very cool. And I wanted more. I want to go find that whole movie and see what actually happens, because I've been pulled in to it. Ruben, did we get you? Ruben, are you back? Almost. All right. So
No.
See you later.
so what we're gonna do is when the new record announces, when there's a pre-order for the vinyl, and you guys come back and please come talk to us about the record. I was lucky to get Ruben for the first half, and he was able to kind of talk about some of the stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Almost.
I'm back for 2 seconds.
Okay.
It's gonna kick me off.
quick, say something, Rube.
Thanks so much, Rich.
Thank you, Ruben. He got it in. It was perfect timing. But yeah, please come back and talk to us, because number one, this was a lot of fun. You guys are very cool. Number two, you know, as Ruben mentioned, your fans are crazy, and I'm one of them. And Turbo is a fan.
Thank you.
And we love you guys, and we want to hear what else you're going to do, talk more about what you're going to do. And we are very Canadian friendly here at Rich and Turbo's Heavy Half Hour. The scene and the bands that are going on up in over the border there, whether it's Montreal or Ontario overall, it's amazing how many really cool bands that we're talking to in Canada. So thank you guys. Thank you for coming on the show and talking about the new record that will be coming out in 2026. Everybody go listen to Everything Is Gone. And if you guys have not listened to it and you're listening to our show, go listen to the self-titled Starbeast record. It's on Bandcamp now. There's CDs, so go buy stuff from them, because you will not be disappointed at all. Who I have left, Tony, Ken, Chowder, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it, and good luck in when the record drops. Just I'll be stalking you guys, so you'll see me on Instagram, and I'll connect, and we'll get you back on. Okay,
That's
please.
awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you both. Thank you very much.
And please tell Ruben, you know, thank you, and don't stress out too much about his internet. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Sounds good, man. You guys
Thanks,
take
guys.
care.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Nice meeting you, Servo. Nice meeting you, Rich.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Y'all have a good day.